Good morning, everyone. Today we are starting in the plasma drive. Hey, how's it going, Ayla? We are in the plasma drive chambers for this part of the quest. I have only Kibellah, and we just started down here.
Death walks with me.
And I am starting a little late today. I was having severe insomnia last night. Apparently this morning, considering I still woke up in a reasonable time. The lay people have huddled together like a herd, being chased by predators, faded gazes, bent backs, the crimson kisses of batons on their bodies. One sec, gotta sneeze. And yet, shadows of smiles touch their dirty, burnt lips as a strange pair, like a hammer and anvil, send sparks into the air with their words. What are those two talking about? Hammer and anvil. And then the lever smacked you right in the kisser. Ha. Give or take a tooth. This is nothing. Bruises, burns, cuts, that's just life. Just remind yourselves how you come home after your shift, having exchanged your ration card for a bowl of soup, how your little ones gulp that bowl down, how they fall asleep, feeling a little better. I say that's worth a hard day's work, and a punch in the face. He smiles broad-shouldered with a rusty beard. He is not afraid to share laughter with others, and so the crimson shades from the beatings never leave his face. His voice is bright and sonorous and listened to. Not everyone here is as chipper and thick-skinned as you. A bowl of soup is great, he says. What about having to choose which of your 3 kids gets it? Is that great too? Beatings are nothing, he says. Remember when the enforcers broke your arm? Since you couldn't work, your wife had to pull 3 shifts. She collapsed at the lath, and the conductive charge burned out her eyes. None of us deserve that. Tough and unyielding, every word hurts, but she's forgiven for her sincerity. They listen to her pull themselves together to share the common pain. I will come back later. My hunt has just begun. Alright, what do we have?
Beckons.
Am I missing something? I mean, I'm clearly missing something, but where?
My visions showed this path, and many others.
Oh, okay, here we are. The lay people have huddled together like a herd being chased by predators. No, this is the same thing. Maybe I'll hear something different over here? Nope.
No sleep, no rest. Only duty, only death.
Oh, wait. Here we are. Oh, this is the exact same thing. The fuck? Can I talk with this person? Yes. Long time no see, Spindle. Tell me, what does silence taste like? Are they using a secret code? Without flaming voice, he would, never even speak to me? Everybody knows silence doesn't taste like anything. If you want to earn rations, you better start dealing in words. He speaks casually, but his voice is slimy and slippery. His eyes are as dirty as an oil-stained garment. The impudence in his gaze and words when he turns them to us is unclean, and he knows it. He is unrepentant. That's a funny look, Heinrich. And you have a funny looking company. Are you here to sell or to buy? And before you answer, remember the first rule: every word has a price. Are we bargaining for information with this lowlife now? It is the duty of every serf to aid the rogue trader and his associates freely and willingly. Ooh boy, here it comes. Who's that with you? An enforcer? And a spinner? You want me dead? If anyone sees me talking to you, they'll snap my neck, so off you go. The peddler of words is trembling in fear for his life. I must extract answers from him. But by what means? The quelling stimulant on the needle's tip will loosen Stain's tongue. What is this feeling? So calm. Fine, ask whatever you want, but then leave. My reputation cost me a lot of blood, and I didn't earn it to have it trampled into dust because you people happened to stop by. Greater things stand in the plasma drive chamber. Speak briefly, speak sense. There's a bunch of workers in the far corner who now gather between every shift, whispering to each other. They don't invite me. They say I talk too much. Well, if they're scared of my tongue, that means they have something to hide. And of course, everyone's talking about Nemesite. Sure, the foundry and the chapel were big. He's been helping people all over. A lot of folks are sticking with him now. You can knock my teeth out if I'm lying. I don't got many of those left anyhow. But I'll tell you this. Even if someone finds him, they won't rat him out. One glance is enough for me to see your true self, Stain. You are a liar and manipulator, peddling other people's secrets and not knowing how to keep your mouth shut. You will become the bait, sowing confusion among the minions of Nemesite, who hope to wait out the lockdown. They think they have enough time. I will deprive them of that confidence. Set up the snare. There will be a raid soon. Be careful. I warn you in in appreciation for your cooperative nature. What are you? That information is not meant for his ears. Really? I see. Well, if that's all you wanted, then can I go? Go, Stain. Be my herald. Uh, when the renegades hear the coming retribution, it will make them nervous, prone to mistakes, likely to give themselves away. But for them to take the bait, it must be compelling. Yes, I see.
Another step, another thread.
Alright, do we get anything new here now? See if anyone has fallen into my web. Did you hear what happened? Nemesite didn't stop at that foundry business. He's been roaming the upper decks too. They say he went to the vessel's shrine and shot some nobles. And then he fled into the chambers, so now a punitive squad is on its way. Prepare your backs, this is going to hurt. Frightened herd sways, humming with whispers. In their eyes, the fires of anxiety flicker. Careless, suggestible people. Alright, so I have to go talk with Whip as well, it seems. An old burn spread across her body in a scarlet blotch. A look of contempt, a heavy baton covered in blood and symbolizing boundless power. Like a fierce leather whip. He lashes with both her hand and her gaze. What are you looking at, you beggars? You finish your shift, you go to the barracks, you start your shift, you check in with the foreman, you get to work before Matilda comes to pat you on the back. And Matilda, I presume, is that wonderful, not at all intimidating baton on your belt. I guess our disguise is working? But I would rather not spend the next few watches in the med bay because of a misunderstanding. His breathing is quickened, flaming voice always makes jests when he's nervous or irritated. Do enforcers infuriate him? Infernus Master, Master at Arms. Apologies for not recognizing you, ma'am. Godierda, we are conducting an inquest. Answer the spinner's questions. I hope your report will be useful. 45%. What can your scars reveal to me? Nice. Day after day, she watches the serfs labor away, exhausting their last vestiges of strength, and there's no compassion in her eyes. They are simply a resource she is commanded to use and then discard. She hates them because she blames them for her pain. Her wounds. Nothing is unimportant during the hunt. Tell me what you know and I will listen. A group of workers wearing red scarves were seen in the compartment just after the attack on the shrine. The foreman stated that they were at work on the freight line. No gunpowder on their clothes, no fresh wounds. Too many of them have started wearing red masks, and it muddles the trail. But we also found some red scarves and bloody rags in one of the shredders only shortly after. We sealed off the exits and reduced the air supply to the maintenance tunnels to the absolute minimum. Now you can't stay in there longer than a few minutes without passing out. There's no way the bastards could have left the plasma chambers. They're definitely in here somewhere. Like snakes, the servants of the Nemesite have shed their skin. The red scarf is just a distraction. Let the enforcers converse. I will keep an eye on those around us. The workers hide their eyes, but I can hear the murmurs echoing through the bay. There's an impotent rage in their hearts directed at Whip, for she is the embodiment of the very order they despise. But why do they not realize that the enforcer is a shield as much as a lash? Some of the people I escorted to the other side looked at me the same way. In the past, I did not understand, but now, do the lay people see spinners performing their duty to the Undying One, or enforcers performing theirs to the Dominus monsters? Do I sense the touch of his will? The Undying Emperor wishes to bestow a revelation upon me. In this trying hour, let his Tarot show me the way. I breathe in, essence made from the ashes and blood of the faithful. It enlightens the mind, granting it the grace of reading his signs. A wave of epiphany sweeps my thoughts away, pulling me into a blessed trance. My fingers move of their own accord over the sacred deck and draw a card. It is the martyr. I see a tear of blood wash over the pale features of the image, and they shift, becoming Whip's face. Important from him, the Undying One blesses me to take Whip. The minions of Nemesite fear her. When her soul is delivered to the Undying One, the traitors will feel invulnerable. They will crawl out of their holes and fall into my web. I know how Whip's thread will end. I cannot sever Whip's thread with a blade, for the serfs would recognize me as one of the spinners and lose all courage. But the sparks of the machine spirits in the plasma drive chambers has already claimed the lives of many. I will use this, and thus the web will be spun.
The web beckons.
Cable, thrumming with power of the conductive charge, a single swing of the blade will send the Enforcer's soul to the Undying One. I have to wait for her to walk all the way around. I see. I have to do it when she's not there. I thought I had to time it. Come on, Whip. I don't know how she died. She didn't walk over it, but whatever. We take it.
Death walks with me.
I see you lot have all taken off your red scarves. No longer feel like playing Nemesite, do you? The lay people are huddled together in a pile of sweltering bodies, filthy and battered by the Enforcer's batons. Their hearts pump blood faster and faster through bulging veins as two of them, hammer and anvil, yup. Your plan appears to have worked, Spinner. The air itself is charged with something, and not the conductive charge. The serfs are stirring. Listen to the rapid beating of hearts. The lay people are frightened, angry. They feel the impunity that sprouted like a weed upon Whip's demise. They feel the threat crushing them from the upper decks, both imminent and inevitable. What are those two talking about, hammer and anvil? I can hear their whispers, insidious and deafening. No longer do they laugh with the others, no longer do they pretend. The Enforcer is dead, and punishers from the upper deck will soon follow Nemesite's trail. This is our chance, we need to act. This is it. I can sense that the prey is close. They have little fear of giving themselves away anymore. They need a spark to ignite the flames, something that will convince the Nemesite's followers they are strong, and the Damon's servants are diminished. Wait for the right moment and then light the spark. They tell us this is how it's meant to be, just because they were born on the upper decks and we down below in the darkness. Is it really the God Emperor's will that they grow fat on the fruit of our labors, revel in luxury while we die without water or medicine? Hammer's voice Rumbles, and the lay people listen, their hands clench into fists. No matter how hard you work, they will wring everything out of you and give you nothing. Who allowed this to happen? The rogue traitor, his name be damned, a Grox on the throne, a tyrant throwing our bones into the furnace of his protectorate. Shut your foul mouth, void dog. Flaming voice? No, it is too soon. I understand your anger, but you must temper it. What did you say about the Lord Captain? The one who gives you work, food, and shelter? You insolent deadbeats. I can see why you have gathered here, and I will not let you start another rebellion. Why are you reaching for your Voxcaster? If you do not disperse, I will give the order to vent the plasma chambers. You have 5 seconds. 4. The tyrant's lackey. If you do this, you'll die with us, you madman. Protect the Lord Captain and the crew? I see. You've never met an Infernus before. Their faces are twisted with fear. Will they retreat? Will they flee? Will they hunt? Or will the hunt be thwarted? No. A small throwing blade flies out of my palm and draws a scarlet line across Anvil's neck. If I'd wished it, she would be dead, but she continues to breathe and to bleed, and to scream furiously as she looks for me. The rogue trader's assassins are here. Look, they wanted to kill me. Find the assassins. The spark is lit. The lay people press in from all sides, pushing and shoving. Their faces are ablaze with terror and rage, and a violent energy boils through the mass of bodies. This power will be difficult to contain. Frightened people are dangerous people. The hunt was meant to go differently, but such is the Undying One's will. One voice rises above the others, the voice of a burly, bearded technomat. Low is the roar of the furnace. Furnace smells of sweat and sacred unguents. He is not afraid, he merely pretends to be. Beneath the shudder of terror, I hear excitement. Do we deserve to be executed, my brothers and sisters? Have we not labored with the sweat of our brow? Have we not perished from the outbursts of raging machine spirits? Why do they call us rebels? Why are we being punished? Furnace's words make the crowd seethe even more. Take a closer look at Furnace. Strong, heavy, enormous hands whose blows should be feared. A great belly that has become a symbol of his success. He does not starve, so those who follow him will not starve either. A powerful leader, recognized by the whole pack. Feel the flowing rage of these poor wretches. The flame burns high, for there is strong fuel at its heart. These people have amassed many grievances. Enforcers are cruel to them, for they believe that fear eradicates treason. The officers despise them, for their clothes and hands are filthy. The quartermasters rob them and withhold what is owed to them, for their clan is not strong enough to make demands. They are vulnerable. Their hearts are vulnerable. The Undying One commands us to spin a web and catch such hearts before they plunge into the abyss of treason. And so, I'm spinning the web. But there is something else mixed into their righteous indignation. Something that taunts them, excites them, angers them. It is something foul, hovering in the air. Aberration. Think about Damen Zen. I turn my thoughts to him, for it is his people that are standing before me. What would he do? The one whose thread I anoint with my blood? Already you are riders in everything but name, and then you ask why you've been shown no trust? My words frighten them, wound them, because they are just, and that makes their anger swell all the more. Why are you surprised? Have the officers ever treated us otherwise? A new voice, sandpaper rough, tears through the rumbling of the crowd. Its owner is ragged and filthy, and feverish gleam burns in his eyes. His words inflame the people's minds, like rot feasting upon a wound. Rot cries out mockingly, "That's because you're afraid of them, but they're not afraid of you." They have the almighty baton. All you have is the source of the power that feeds the whole ship. Why wouldn't they take you for granted? It serves you right, you cowards. His ugly shriek spills like venom upon the sweating faces as they slowly draw closer and closer, sense the smell hanging over the crowd. I take a deep breath, and something stupefying, noxious, and luscious disturbs my senses. This is no ordinary odor, but something subtle and foul. It carries the same stench as rot. Skinny and scrawny, Rot leers at me with his gaping mouth. He is a nobody who has nothing. His body has wasted away from disease. His hands are 5 fingers short. His fate is sealed, and that makes him convincing. Everyone knows he has nothing to gain for himself, and thus no reason to lie. His poverty is his armor. Turn my thoughts to Zen. I address the one who commands these people, and who possesses the authority to execute in pardon. Am I to hear his thoughts? Daman takes care of all, for such is his burden, but he cannot save everyone. He only cares about his flunkies. The bile spraying from Rot's mouth sizzles in the workers' minds like acid. It is burning them through. We will not commit rebellion, but we will not allow ourselves to be slaughtered by villains either. The law and the Emperor are on our side. A young woman steps forth, slender and supple like a rapier. If they want to crush us with fear and death, let them kill us. It will only prove our righteousness. The ringing call is a command, pressing itself to their hearts. The foul stench of sacrilege almost knocks me off my feet. Look, rapier, lore warp. Nice, I got a 45 and a 50 so far today. That tantalizing, elusive scent of rage, it is more than a stench, it is a tool. The weapon of the despicable trio, which they use to influence the minds of the laity, invisibly intoxicating their minds. The crowd reeks of flowering treason. I delve down to its root and realize it is that, or what it is that rejects his will so. His sacred privilege is being attacked. He alone chooses who may journey to him. But these three, instigators, they are determined to make this decision for themselves, dragging the souls of all around into the fires of violence with them. They are impudent upstarts who have put themselves above him, and above me, the second spinner of the blood-spun web, his chosen servant. The realization of such audacity burns my very soul. Look Rapier in the eye. She is fragile, but there is a strength in her, an authority taken for granted and understood by everyone. She is clearly ready to command, with legions willing to die for such maidens. Beautiful and resolute as they are, she carries no banner in her hand, for she herself is the banner. Appeal to Daman Zen loudly and exigently. But the noise around me drowns out my own thoughts and stops me from focusing on his image. Use my throwing knife to take an idle swipe at Rapier's face. Seal your lips, heretic. The spilt blood becomes the tipping point. The crowd erupts into cries. They no longer hear me, for the enemy has them in their grasp. They surround me. threatening, pointing fingers, cursing. They dare not strike yet, but already their enormous bulk presses down upon me as the smell of blood in the air grows thicker by the minute. Stand firm, do not resist. The crowd presses forward, harder and harder. My breath is growing short, my bones are crunching. Somebody's screaming in my face, I endure the stench. Lose myself in the dance of blood. I can bear it no longer. The blades in my hand sing, and blood streaks across astonished faces. I am done speaking and exhorting. I merely dance on the thread that I have spun. I bestow death and blessed wounds. I catch a glimpse of Rapier's cloven face and Furnace's open belly. Rot's severed hand falls at my feet, and its owner flees howling. I dance and breathe so freely. It did not go the way I had planned. The smell of blood lingers in the air like the stench of impending defeat. 2 bodies are sprawled before me. I have severed their threads. The third blasphemer has managed to escape, but his disembodied hand also lies on the floor, useless meat. What can these corpses reveal to me? I failed. Very little. The faint traces of the vile mutations that twisted their bodies, the foul stench of corruption emanating from their meat, the deformed, strangely colored brains in their crushed skulls that spawned the heresy of sedition. What will the appearance of the survivors tell me? They huddled in the corners, ashamed of their own subservience. They tried to convince themselves that the blood they so foolishly spilt would absolve them, but they know it is not enough. Are Flaming Voice and Steel Mistress still alive? Their threads have not yet been cut. I realize with astonishment that they are standing close to me. Flaming Voice is furiously reproaching all those who had only recently joined the revolt, while Steel Mistress booms like a siren, shaking her maul in threatening punishment. They are useless to the hunt now. Time for the next step. A thrill runs through the strands of my consciousness. Is this Damen Zen? Can I truly feel him again? Or am I imagining it? I need to concentrate. I gaze at the puddles of blood, at the patterns they form. I see a labyrinth. The Undying One has given me a sign. I draw the beginning of the spread. The Hound. I gaze at the card and its depiction of the Astra Militarum armored vehicle that bears that formidable name. The pursuit of truth, sacrifice, and victory. This is me, and I am on the right track. I draw the heart of the spread. The Harlequin, inverted, lies, manipulation, a shadow play blocking my path. But it is a lie exposed, a deception that must be revealed. I draw the end of the spread. The Preacher. A man who carries an idea and proclaims it. But who is it? Nemesite? One of his supporters? Someone already slain or someone still alive? The divination is unclear, so I draw a 4th card. It is dangerous to ask more of the Undying One, but I must know. The Aquila. His holy image watches me from within the card, and my heart grows frigid with the knowledge of what it represents. The Undying One has manifested his omen in the traitor's blood. The hunt that has begun will be completed by unveiling of a great deception. Our enemy is elusive because he has a powerful ally, one who espouses faith in the Emperor on this vessel. The ship's Confessor is in league with the Nemesite. He will be the next prey. Why did it put me in this room? Oh, hey, there's goods here. His chagrin is irrelevant. Voigtvir's mistake cost me too much. Years of work, tremendous resources, all wasted. He has failed at what he was supposed to be irreproachable at, uncovering spies, and this one was a senior officer. I'm not about to discard him. Conrad has served me for far too long for his removal to go painlessly for the Protectorate. Besides, he's no fool. He could not have seriously expected to become the next in the Von Valencius line when his skills and talents as Master of Whispers are so valuable. Let his disinheritance serve as a humiliating but instructive lesson from which he may yet learn. Do I get to do anything fun here? Address the Master of Ablutions. I wish to see someone from my retinue. I wish to learn more about the tenets of the web. Kibellah silently appears by your side. You ask to see me. Zen, do you wish to learn more of the cult's rites? Very well. Since you are in the water, I can introduce you to a rare discipline of the bloodspun web, known as controlled self-drowning. You receive this honor, with water being so precious on a ship. Still, it has opened my eyes to many truths. Intriguing? Teach me. Close your eyes and trust me. Reject your fear and remember, you have carried death within you since birth. This ritual is simply a meeting between you and your oldest friend. You close your eyes and you hear a quiet splash. Kibellah has entered the pool. She puts her hands around your neck and gently pushes you under the water. As your lungs start to burn, she pulls you back to the surface, allowing you to take a single breath of air before she begins to drown you again. This process repeats several times, and she holds you beneath the surface for a little longer with each plunge. The fourth descent lasts an eternity, but her hands prevent you from resurfacing. I failed the willpower test. Oops. 0% chance. Nice. Panic engulfs you as your empty lungs burn. Your body thrashes. Stubborn in its refusal to die, you push away your way to the surface and gasp hungrily for air. You are unprepared for this discipline, Damen Zen. Breathe. Feel the life beating in your veins. Rest. You are alone once more. Relax and close my eyes. The tension slowly retreats as you bring yourself to complete stillness. Joint by joint, muscle by muscle, pore by pore, before long you have surrendered the bastion of your body to the bliss of oblivion. Troubles, worries, loss, such things do not belong in this newly established dominion of tranquility. There are only the infinite waters of weightlessness in which, stripped of all things superficial, the mind of Zen von Valencius drifts in silent bliss. It is a conscious mind. What fills this consciousness? Thoughts of those who keep him afloat in these waters, who will drown, and who will he manage to pull to the surface. The strands of fate are fragile, yet woven together they are strong. Not everyone is destined to see this voyage through to its end, but no one will be forgotten. Hey, Janris is back. Have you recovered from the Nemesite's attack yet? You came very close to death in the chapel. Janus puts a hand on his chest, right where the gruesome wound used to be. The Chirurgeons spent hours fighting for my life, and I have to say, they are earning their keep. They promised to leave a heroic-looking scar, although, admittedly, I much prefer calluses from an autoquill. Have you ever heard the name Fiery Reckoning? From what I can tell, it is a void ship of some sort. There was mention of it in one of Theodore's documents I found. I'm afraid it is not immediately familiar to me, your lordship. Please allow me a moment. He starts rapidly tapping on the screen of his data slate. I say, House von Valencius did indeed sign a contract with the owners of a vessel with the designation Fiery Reckoning. There are transactions, records of the ship picking up cargo from Kiavagama. Well, this is odd. The data log ends there. Apparently the ship had some interactions with one of the workshops on your industrial world. I beg your pardon, your lordship. But that is the extent of the assistance I can provide you in regard to this particular matter. Let's talk with the Curiosities merchant. Maybe there's some new stuff here I could get. No. This could be interesting. It's tempting. I'm definitely grabbing this. This is the one that I want when I get 55 profit factor. Nice. I upgraded the hut of the servo skull. Wow. Even with 137 tech use, it is still just a 57% chance. I wonder, can I make that chance better? Pascal. Right, I wanted to give this to you. Whenever the wearer's ally dies in combat, the wearer immediately gains. No. I will throw that there. I'm looking for the items that gave tech use. Alright, so I can throw this over here. And throw that on Pascal. And he already has the other tech use one. So with that, it would be a, what, 67% chance? Yeah, it's still not worth. I could get it to a 70%, but that's still not worth. I'll just wait. To the shrine. Kibellah extends a finger, topped with a metal claw, toward Confessor Adalbert. The divination is revealed that you stand beside the enemy Nemesite. Speak only the truth before the Daemon and the Undying One. Adalbert meets Kibellah's words calmly, with almost majestic resignation. A defender of the people and a tyrant's minion are two faithful servants of opposing ideas. Two souls that have rejected everything else for the sake of duty. I now truly see that your collision with him was inevitable. Adalbert shifts his gaze to you and lets out a mournful sigh. I was warned about your visit, Zen, as well as its purpose. Who alerted you to my visit? My son, the protector of those whose blood you feed upon, whose hard work has paid for your content life on the upper decks of this ship. I demand an explanation, Confessor, this instant. Your pet tormentor, who extols death, is right. I know Nemesite, and I assist him. Just like him, I'm your enemy, Zen. Adalbert raises his voice, and in the soft tenor, you hear notes of accusation as deep as rolling thunder. And I am also the enemy of your cruel regime, where life is dirt under the enforcer's feet, where a man has nothing to eat, writhes in fear, and knows no hope. Sorbek clenches her fist until her knuckles crunch. You treasonous impostor. To think that I listened to your sermons and was anointed by your hand. You will choke on your words along with the teeth I'm about to knock out. Adalbert dignifies her with neither a word nor a glance. You're not even trying to lie? This is commendable. Adalbert shrugs, his kindly face growing harder. Why would I? If the dogs have come looking for blood, they will not leave without a kill. Such is your vicious nature. So you're a heretic then? No. Heresy is what you and your fellow bloodsuckers believe in. The ecclesiarchy has turned faith into a whip to drive the powerless. The aristocracy has turned it into a shield to cover their transgressions, and the enforcers have turned it into a club with which to beat those who dare to raise their voices. Your faith is an instrument of lies and suppression. I renounced it long ago. My faith, Promises salvation, not thraldom. Argenta's eyes flash. Betrayer of the faith, your blasphemous words will perish with you. You holy people are all bloodthirsty hypocrites? Adira spits at the Confessor's feet. You go on about how rotten we are, but take a knife and scratch your surface a little, and we'll find the worst heretic of all. I too desire a better life for my subjects. The path to that need not be violent. Let us make peace and change life on the ship together. Tortured doubt lingers on the Confessor's face for a moment before being superseded by his former conviction. Even if your intentions are pure, you are too tainted, poisoned. No, the matter is clear. You, or us. Peace and coexistence are impossible. Do you serve the Nemesite, or do you command him? I follow him, as he once followed me. Nemesite is my son, if not by blood, then in spirit. I took him in as a willful child, and I fostered the best in him, a passion for justice, the indomitable flame of a fighter, and unyielding determination. I have been preparing him for years. You've raised a living instrument that serves a purpose without question. Kibellah speaks cautiously, as if not entirely sure of her judgment. Alright, and it is time for ads. They will play for 3 minutes. They disable pre-roll and mid-roll ads for the next hour. I don't do anything in the meantime, so nobody misses out on any content. And I will catch you all in 3 minutes. Alright, the ads have finished. Such is his purpose, to be the hope, to break the shackles, to end the centuries of torment that have passed aboard this ship. A great sacrifice for a great cause. He falls silent, looking at Kibellah expectantly. You should be familiar with his ways. Except that instead of a sower of freedom, you were raised to be an executioner's sword. What else were you lying about? One last confession? Why not? He frowns and pulls back his collar as if he were short of breath. I'm not Adalbert. That was the name of an initiate from a clan of confessors who passed away from disease many years ago. I was born in squalor in the lower decks. And at the behest of the M. He falters as if he wanted to add something else. And it was by the Emperor's command that I took Adalbert's place through deception, pretending to be him. The dead man had inherited much influence and many thrones from his clan, which hastened my successful rise through the ranks. But it was not for wealth and power that I did this. I accepted the burden of hard work to empower the common people, to pave the way for liberation from oppression and injustice. And my part is almost done. Kibellah whispers to you. I sense no lie in his voice or bearing. He feels and welcomes death with open arms. The moment favors us, we must learn more. He who betrayed his oaths will not deliver the Nemesite to us, but from his words we may divine knowledge of our enemy. How did your deception go unnoticed? You were not there for those years of pestilence? Confessors attended every deck and died in multitudes. New ministers were recruited in every port, at every station, their names and faces blurred together. And we recognized our kin only by their robes. No one knew knew Adalbert's true face. Survived that time. The Emperor saved me from being exposed. Your liberation is rooted in betrayal and bloodshed. This is a war, Zen. The war for our liberation, and we are willing to die and to kill for it, because our enemy is brutal and deaf to our pleas. You have deserved it. He resolutely places his hand over his heart. Zorbeck reacts to this gesture with due suspicion, sharply gripping her weapon, preparing to eliminate any threat to you. So Nemesite is just a man? Excellent. It is harder to kill a legend. The words of a tyrant, inebriated with power and impunity. Nemesite is an idea, and you have the arrogance to believe you can kill an idea made flesh? It is better this way, so keep underestimating him. Are you hoping he will save you now? No, we decided otherwise. I'm not worth him risking his life. So do not expect to capture him through me. My son has no attachments, for they would only make him weak. He will gladly sacrifice himself for his dream of liberty and equality, and I must do the same. I only grieve that thanks to your efforts, I cannot be near my son and ease his burden. Attachment makes us weak. Bella's whisper is barely audible, and you see her face grow more dismal still. You made a weapon out of him? Just as he made a weapon out of you. Any last words, Adalbert? The shackles will fall, and there will be nothing left of your tyranny, nor of you. Adalbert speaks without hatred. His even voice is that of a martyr on his way to glory. You are responsible for the deaths of countless people. Despite your crimes, I will keep you alive. Zorbeck, arrest the traitor. I want to see what happens if I do this. You seem to have mistaken my humility in the face of death for submission. Adalbert smiles weakly. It is not for you to decide my fate. I will make the choice myself. I will surrender my life in the fight for our future. I will die, but I will take you with me. He clicks his finger, and the initiates who have been standing humbly around turn in your direction. Their white robes opening to reveal a variety of weapons. Their Nemesite brothers and sisters for freedom. Lord Captain, this is an ambush. They've been waiting for us. Zarbek's shout hits in your ears. Drowning out hurried footsteps and clanking of gun plasteel. I would like to return the favor, your lordship. I assure you my initiation was has not robbed me of my enforcer skills. Heh. Nice. The guy that I sent Rotko, the guy that I sent to be an initiate instead of an enforcer in the murder mystery. He actually helps. That's neat. Alright, I can't actually move anybody, so so be it.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Nothing I can't do. Already done.
We sit here and buff.
Suits my purposes.
We Medicae signal. I always forget to do advanced tracking before Medicae signal. I'm gonna move it over there so that I don't forget. And can I knock him on his ass?
All too easy, watch and learn.
Yes, but he stood back up. Well, I tried.
Already done.
Is there no way to hit both of them? Negative. Alright. I'll hit this one then. And I will give everyone here armor.
If I may.
Ow!
I can't stand it.
My passion has failed me.
Okay, that hurt a lot. Does anybody have any actual traumas? Looks like it's just injuries across the board. I can deal with that. Abelard. Brace for impact. Wall of Rockcrete. Endure. I'll move here. Haunt these two. And that'll be fine for now. Idira. Relocate to there. Buff everyone.
But of course.
Ow. Alright, and then I can move here.
Suits my purposes. Not a problem for me.
The angel will reward us. The Sire's song guides me. Only the faithful will ascend.
I'm not injured. I'm enraged.
Alright, Idira.
They who discern the future on the battlefield.
Just buff everyone.
Will do.
Heal everyone again.
Quiet, Whispers. It's my toy, and I'm gonna control it myself.
Anything else? Be gone.
Damn! What was the command again? Oh, right.
There we are. Easy. Idira is actually a beast now.
The true believers will inherit all.
Only the faithful will ascend.
Yeah, that's whatever. You can't do anything to me now. Kibellah.
Trust me.
I need you to reckless abandon. Captive audience.
Caught by the web.
Blood Oath.
Shadows will see it. Trust me.
Pain resonance. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. This is the one I meant to do.
Lieutenant's death is a blessing. Trust me. I shall not fail.
You didn't bleed?
My blade whispers your name. Let your soul be purged.
There you go. Now you're bleeding.
The shadows will see it done.
And you'll just die to the bleed. That's fine.
My ears are ringing.
It's nothing.
Alright, if I come here... Alright, what if I come here? If I come here... Okay, Reckless Rush. We come up here. And we just fire this.
Strike is a prayer.
Then I can come over here. Run and gun.
Battle.
Rapid fire.
Doubt is for the weak.
Revel in slaughter. Then we come back to the shotgun. Where... No. Yeah, then we come back to the shotgun. Where we wildfire.
Will be undone.
And concentrated fire? Yes.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. Faith without deed.
And then we study superiority.
Stand, and thy light I crave.
And I can do this.
As the Emperor commands. I'll do it.
High momentum.
And I'll move her back here. She has done a lot here.
Commands, I act.
I've suffered worse.
Abelard. Okay, that'll be the big thing here.
It will be done.
Wall of Rockcrete.
Victory is imminent.
Endure.
Indeed. Reduced to dust.
Sworn enemy.
At your
Defensive
beck and
stance.
call. It will be
Bulwark.
done. Will rule
Daring
the
breach.
stars themselves.
Oh my god, Abelard.
Pain and
The amount of damage you do.
hand in hand. I took care of this one.
Alright, Abelard. You're a beast.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. dragon corpse reduced to dust.
I took care of this one.
A tactically sound approach.
Reduced to dust.
Didn't even get to round 2. The battle's over, and silence descends once again upon the chapel. Flakes of ash whirl quietly in the air before coming to rest on the blood trickling slowly across the floor. I take a little damage. Kibellah takes a lot of damage. You ought to see this, Damen-san. Kibellah leans over the Confessor's body and slices off the edge of his collar with her blade, revealing a tiny scar on the back of his neck. It looks just like the one the captured worker in the plasma drive chambers had, except that this one clearly healed a long time ago. So he was connected to the genetic aberration as well. Delightful. So we now know much more about the enemy. Kibellah ponderously runs her finger along the flat of the blade, about just how deep the poison of conspiracy runs within the veins of your ship. But the blood-spun web has wrapped itself around its bays too tightly. The Nemesite can no longer hope to escape. Sarbek, her ruminations are interrupted by a furious hiss. Sarbek snarls a curse through her teeth and spits at Adalbert's smoking remains. Her left arm hangs limp and her face is mangled by shrapnel. Lord Captain, we have a prisoner. She points her weapon at the man standing hunched over in pain. Permission to finish off the cur? Down with the tyrant, the broad-shouldered initiate, who calls himself Zeke, clutches a deep wound, glaring at you with hatred. Lord Captain, are you unharmed? Rotko, formerly an enforcer and now an initiate, has not lost his usual cold composure, despite the fact that his white robes are stained with blood. Rotko, how did you come to be here at just the right moment? I was praying, your lordship. Ever since you spared me, I've been praying a lot. Rotko's groomed face now looks haggard, his cheekbones jut out, and his former well-off appearance has taken an air of noble piety. And when I saw those vermin pull out their weapons, I considered it unacceptable to stand aside. I may have been found a bad officer, but not once have I been called a bad fighter. I'm glad to see you in one piece. Today, I will be praying to the God Emperor for your health. Address Zeke, I have questions for you, traitor. I doubt you'll like the answers. Were you serving the Nemesite for a cause or simply for money? He promised us freedom. Where's the Nemesite's hideout? Even the Confessor didn't know where it is? He was afraid of spies or of giving his son's secrets away under torture, you see. You can't get to our champion. Are there any other senior officers helping you? Officers? Ha! There is no one else among them who is pure. They only care about power and gorging themselves on the scraps you throw them, or else they would have long since turned against you. Zeke can barely finish the sentence before he's beset by a torrent of gurgling coughs. How many more of you mutineers are hiding on my ship? I want to know your names. I want to know where you meet. Everything. The Confessor said every compartment has people who fight for our cause. They promised to take me into the circle of our most devoted believers. Then I would know, but even then, I would tell you nothing. Not even under torture. I have learned all that I need. The Initiate only looks at you sullenly. They were waiting for us? It was a trap? Yes, Lord Captain. Adalbert had been warned, yet he chose not to flee. Instead, he stayed behind to set a trap for us. Did he really believe this madness would succeed and he would somehow survive? He did not want to survive. His only hope was to kill. Nemesite managed to turn his adoptive father into a blade pointed squarely at the Damon's throat, just as Adalbert himself had once turned Nemesite into a weapon. Neither of them feared death. That devious, mind-twisting beast. Sarbek frowns with worry. I have been going through my predecessor's archive recently. and I may have an idea as to what manner of creature this Nemesite is. We are dealing with a killer morph, a special variety of mutant filth in service of genetic cults. These creatures are made and raised to play the part of the people's leader and inspiration for the mutinous rabble. A killer morph's purpose is to sow disorder and use the rebellion to eliminate the ruling elite, those who might be capable of opposing the Xenos. Not at Zeke. Now let us decide what to do with our surviving traitor. Do not kill him in vain. Those who follow the tenets of the web know that just as we serve death, so too does it serve us. Allow the death of this man to become an instrument in your hands, Zen. Pass off the traitor's body as that of the Nemesite. Instill fear in his supporters. The enemy will be forced to act to undo this deception, exposing himself in the process. What would that accomplish? All warriors fight for something, be it fame, life, wealth, or their loved ones. The Nemesite cares nothing for these things. He sacrifices his kin, scorns glory, and amasses no riches. I'm sure he would gladly give up his own life if necessary. Nemesite fights for an idea. And so that is where we must strike. Make his idea bleed, and he will be obligated to respond. And whoever is forced to react instead of acting dies. I kind of want to do the Iconoclast option, because I think it'll give me more Iconoclast points. Screw it, I'm an Iconoclast. Enough blood has been spilt. I hereby pardon this deluded fool. To show the rest of the vessel, I am not the monster that the Nemesite paints me to be. Pardon? Does this mean I can go? Zeke glances nervously about like a harried animal. Have you really forgiven me, your lord? I thought you... But then, I'm so sorry. That is one traitor dealt with, Lord Captain. But how many more have been poisoned by the false confessor's heresy? A new spiritual shepherd must be appointed quickly to banish any mutinous thoughts sown by the traitor from the minds of the crew and to strengthen their faith and obedience. Without the ship's confessor, the rabble will begin to whisper that the Emperor has forsaken us, and such doubts will only play into the rebels' hands. Attack craft and torpedoes gain +2 void movement points. Okay, that's actually really strong. 10% is almost not noticeable. What does this give? Flagship speed. %15 critical hit chance. So far, I like this one the most. This also gives Righteous Fervor. The creed must be strictly observed and aboard the vessel, since the Voidsmen are wavering in their faith. Let the High Factotum find a true servant of the Ecclesiarchy elsewhere. Yes. Righteous Fervor. Hey, how's it going, Freezered? I appreciate the lurk. I will send agents to every deck. The next time the Nemesite rears his head, which I am certain will happen sooner rather than later, we will be one step ahead of him, and not the other way around. Zarabek staggers away, and your gaze turns to the motionless Kibellah, staring at her own reflection within a pool of blood. Is something wrong? I'm thinking about Nemesite, my adversary. The more I learn about him, the more I see a vague reflection of myself, A twisted reflection, perhaps, but all too familiar. Like me, he was forced to tread the path of servitude from an early age, stripped of anything that might stand in the way of duty. A champion and a zealot, left with nothing but an idea, forged and tempered by his mentor. You are different. He is a murderer, but you understand the true value of human death. And it is up to you to prove to the God Emperor's gaze that the tenets of the web are stronger than whatever the... You're different. He is a murderer, but you understand the true value of human death. This is true. Like a puppeteer, he pulls at the threads of other people's destinies, tangling and severing them. When I cut these threads, it is only as the Undying One commands, with timely precision. I must stop Nemesite so that I might save your subjects from premature death.
Can I fall back now?
And we've reached level 31. And I need to take a look-see and see what I was taking. Each ally in a 3-cell radius around the familiar has their resolve increased by 2. Yep, I'm cool with that. And then here... My people don't really need extra movement points, but... not a lot else here to grab. I could grab Instant Retribution. Get a free shield bash occasionally. I could also grab It Will Not Die for some extra HP. Extra dodge is always nice. I'm gonna go It Will Not Die. The extra HP will be nice. Gets me up to 75. Bella. There we go. Abelard, what do you have here? I could grab Renitent Beacon, so it doesn't do too much here. Whenever an attack is made by an ally, or an attack made by an ally hits the Vanguard for the first time in a round, that attack deals no damage to the Vanguard. If this attack is a burst attack, this applies to each successful hit in the burst. I'm tempted to take Unflinching here. I could also take Wall of Ferrocrete. I think it's between Unflinching and Wall of Ferrocrete. This would allow me to move him in and then not care if Argenta just blasts in that direction. Let's see what I had listed. I had Taunting Defense. Ah, yeah, you know what? That one's pretty good too. I'd missed that one. I looked at Taunting Opportunity, but I missed Taunting Defense. 19% parry against enemies that consider the Vanguard a priority target. Yes, please. Kadira. What are we grabbing on you, my friend? Second Sight. We have longer range psychic powers. That'll be nice for the offensive abilities. And here we grab Psyker Terminus. Argenta. Devastating Attack also reduces the target's armor by 7% and toughness by 10 until the end of combat. Does not stack. Sure thing. Question, did that scale with anything? No, it does not. That's fine, though. The 7% armor reduction is still good. And then Cassia. We'll take Under My Protection. And then the Course Untraveled. Kibellah. You are grabbing... So I need to remember that here, the next common talent, I need to take Drukari weapon proficiency. But here, we take... The Executioner's armor is increased by 10%. 5 plus maximum wounds divided by 20. I'll take that. Armor is always nice. Granted, she's rarely hit because of her dodge, but even still.
It's about time.
I recite a prayer, the one I remember best. Alright, let's see here. Fiery Retribution. It is... I mean, it's good for a flamer, but, like, I don't use flamers, so... Did I move the wrong thing over? I did. The hell did I move over? Whatever it was, it didn't matter, because it's not good. Heavy Rock Saw. I will take that. Thunder Hammer. Heavy Leather Armor. Enemy Finder. If the target of the wearer's ranged attack fails a toughness resistance test, that attack inflicts exhaustion on the target. Eh. Abelard, how does this compare to what you're currently using? It is just worse. Yeah, it's just worse than the rusty heavy rock saw. Why? What? Why does the rusty one do more damage? Alright, we collect this. There's people over here we need to collect from. Fun little combat there. We head to the bridge. Armor of Threshold. Yeah, this is just worse than the Radiant Chest Plate. I don't need Stronghold anymore. That's kind of fallen off. That's not what I wanted. I want this one. Alright, what do we have here that I could possibly want? This is pretty good for light armor. And would definitely be pretty good for Cassia. Or even Idira. Heavy Emergency Cutter. This is the one that we want. Each attack with the saw increases the wielder's critical hit damage by 1%. Stacks and lasts until the end of combat. Has 50% armor pen. This thing is insane. And then there's the Fortress World. Origin Tempestus Carapace, which is also just really, really nice. The Deadly Repeater is also insane. What does this do? Meh. What about the Drusians? Is there anything else we want here? This is okay. This is also okay. Pretty good. Okay. What about here? We can get the Commissar's boots. I don't actually care to use them, but we have them. Bladed boots. This could be good for... No, it's two-handed. Never mind. This'll be good for Kibellah, eventually. Alright, so this is good for the Eldari companion we have. This is something we want for... I don't know. I really have to go to the bathroom. It might take a little bit. I'll be back shortly. I'm back. I apologize for that. Sometimes you just have to go. Hello, Kyo. How's it going? Hope all is well. And of course, the ad break starts as soon as I get back. Well, that's shit. Could have played it when I left, I guess. Gotcha, gotcha. Well, at least it's not stressful work. That's always good, at least. Alright. We're good to go now. Once again, sorry about that. It just happens sometimes, you know? Alright, so this is a better shield. I think. I kind of like the energy, fire, and shock damage are reduced by 35%. But this is a pretty good shield. We want the tactical backpack for sure. So let's actually start going up this so we can get the tactical backpack. We want heretic trophies and Xeno artifacts. Go with that first. That gets us up to here. I don't need that, I don't need this, and I don't need this. I no longer need this. I like the one that I have. Alright. I don't have any heretic trophies. Jewelry is 300. I have so many armor kits. We don't need the needle pistol. Alright, so I need 3k. That's about 1k. I'm an armor kit shy. So I'll do a ranged weapons kit and then a miscellaneous. Do I even need to? Because I'm not exactly 3k shy. There we go. We get the tactical backpack. Tomorrow is your study. Oh, shit. Yeah, I hope you don't miss it. I'm sure everything will be fine, but I understand the anxiety. Like 100%. Alright, Argenta, you get the tactical backpack. So you have an extra rate of fire. Alright. We finally get the hell out of here. I don't even remember what I was doing. I think I was heading down here. And then I was going to head back up here. And go to my capital system to do the handful of quests that are there. Since the very start the warp jump, rumors of ill omens have been widespread among the Voidsmen. Sudden deaths among the crew, ravaged corpses, jagged shadows lurking behind the bulkheads. A Terran day later, the mystery unraveled itself in a most heinous manner, an attempt on the rogue trader's life. The question of how the Drukari Xenos came to be aboard the ship will have to be pondered some other time. Right now, the Lord Captain has to fight for his life. Oh, fun.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Nothing escapes my sight. The Emperor favors me today. I better myself through my service.
I'll wipe you from the face of the gallows.
You are great!
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
All too easy. Suits my purposes. Nothing I can't do. Already done.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
This way!
Don't touch me.
Emperor, protect me.
Faith without deeds is worthless. Guided by faith. Doubt is for the weak. My Emperor! As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds, and purify! I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury! As the Emperor commands, escape the Emperor's judgment. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, strike is a prayer.
Momentum.
I can handle this. Look out. Trust me, I will not die in dishonor. As honor ordains, I see what others do not. The blade whispers your name. I shall not As honor ordains. Feel nothing. Fear nothing. I will leave footprints of scarlet.
I will do my duty. Victory is imminent.
But of course. Anything else? Will do.
Suits my purposes.
My place is at the fore. Attention to detail is the key to success.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone!
All too easy. Not a problem for me.
Rejoice in battle!
Indeed. At your beck and call.
Forge ahead.
High momentum.
In the name of House Orselion, I shall prevail.
Duty prevails. Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. Strike is a prayer.
justice for the weak. As the Emperor commands, eradicated.
Follow my lead!
See, right there. The Emperor favors me today.
Victory awaits!
I've been muted for a while, and I don't know how long. And I hate that. I have a feeling it was the entire fight. I don't even know how I got muted. Alright, you. I haven't given you Drukari weapon proficiency, right? And this is just worse than what you're using. That's fine then. Before you is a burning world, an inhospitable place at the mercy of a perpetual inferno due to its suffocating atmosphere in close proximity to the system's star. The firestorms on its surface never cease. What could the Kibellah be looking for in such a place? Utilize the full capabilities of the augurs to locate something unusual on the planet. After many long hours spent analyzing the augur data, the tech priests noticed something unusual. A number of constructions of artificial origin can be detected under the planet's surface. They are too vast and peculiar to have been created by humans, but their geometric shapes and other properties clearly indicate that they were put together by sentient beings of some kind. Unfortunately, there are traces of human activity next to the mysterious constructions. It looks like somebody found a way to land on the planet and set up an archaeological dig. These ancient monuments have been stripped of anything of value or interest, but other burning worlds may yield new discoveries. Lord Captain, your plan was a success. Our provocation against the Nemesite and the killing of the traitor Adalbert has brought out all the rest of them. My enforcers have captured a number of suspicious individuals and beaten the truth out of them. That scum, Nemesite, wishes to avenge his mentor's death. and plans to raid the ceremony of the officer's anointment. Since the impious Adalbert has turned out to be an apostate, it is the new confessor's duty to ensure that the officers retake their oath to the God Emperor. Traditionally, the ceremony is attended by the officers' families, and it is they who are the target of the mutineer. He wishes to slaughter all the ship's elite in one fell swoop. I have ordered a trap to be set for the Nemesite. Would you like to be personally involved in the operation? What kind of trap? We will replace the civilians with enforcers and their relatives of the appropriate age. Dress them all in their formal clothes and hide their weapons underneath. When Nemesite tries to strike, he will find only cruel disappointment for the last time in his worthless life. I will attend the ceremony. I mean, I'm gonna ask this. It's such a dumb question because clearly yes, but sure. Age appropriate? Are they going after the going to be elderly and the youths present? It is necessary for the sake of secrecy. Let me assure you, all of my people will gladly risk their families for the good of the Von Valencius dynasty without fear or hesitation. I will attend the ceremony. You hear a burst of interference, followed by Kibellah joining the channel. Dum and Zen, the whispers of death, are uttering the name of the Nemesite ever more loudly. I must meet the enemy face to face. Very well, we will capture him together. So be it. Kibellah's voice is quiet, yet somehow even more grim and ominous than usual. The rows of disguised enforcers are listening to the Confessor's words in silence. All around you are Sarabek's chosen people, each dressed as a member of the officers' families. Close by, a kindly-looking old woman is fumbling with a starched handkerchief. Catching your eye, she smiles with a mouth that is missing half its teeth and then whispers, "Everything is going as planned, your lordship." Look at the participants in the ceremony. The facade is holding, with everyone playing their role perfectly. The Master-at-Arms must have instructed them thoroughly and shown them how best to conceal their weapons. All of them are wearing their best, even you cannot tell where they are hiding their armaments. And who might you be, Madam Matriarch? Belinda Crofgold, Lord Captain. Transferred from the enforcers with the rank of senior lieutenant to the staff of your lordship's quarters on account of my age and declining health. But as you can see, there's no such thing as a former enforcer. A friendly smile stretches across her bloodless lips. So why would Sarbek entrust my safety to someone so advanced in years? I guess the Master-at-Arms remembers how Belinda used to be the best shot among the enforcers back in the day, and knows that my eye and hand have not diminished over the years. I spent 40 years on duty, and to this day I can tell if a man is carrying contraband in his pockets just by the way he's walking. I'm grateful to Mistress Sarbek for the honor. I don't want to die in my bed. Let me fall in battle, defending the Lord Captain and crushing traitors. Belinda gives an imperious yet absent-minded nod and dabs her eyes with her handkerchief. I'm bored. Perhaps you will amuse me with a story. Oh, the stories I could tell. I remember, in the early days of my time in service, someone started poisoning the food in the kitchen. We couldn't catch the vermin, so I came up with an idea to get into a vat of protein porridge and catch them unawares. I was a small and skinny little thing, so I climbed into the vat and sat there up to my neck in porridge. I waited a long time before someone lifted the lid. It wasn't one of our kitchen servants, but a man twice my size, carrying a bag of foul-smelling stuff. And that was it. I grabbed him by the shoulders and dunked him into the porridge. I held the brute down until he passed out. The master-at-arms back then, he lauded my ingenuity and commended me for apprehending the poisoner, but he also took the cost of the porridge out of my wages. Heh. Perhaps you should have climbed into an empty vat? You're not wrong, but I was young and foolish, and thought only of how I might nab the culprit. You could have, let's see. That was a delightful tale. Give me another. I'm afraid we don't have time, Lord Captain. We must be vigilant. The treacherous scum is about to reveal himself. Ceremony comes to an end, the vows are given, and the forehead of every officer is graced with the touch of the Confessor. Now comes the moment for the closing prayer. And may the God Emperor protect us. A loud, menacing voice booms through the hall, cutting short the sacred words, but not today.
You cannot stop the angels faithful!
Oh nice, he has extra arms. Neat. They're becoming ever more Tyrannid-like.
Defensive positions! Do not let a single one break through!
Submit and you'll die quickly.
I will level you.
Oh, there are so many of them. Alright. Cassia. I need the burb to move. Same with Hans. Cassia, I want you there. I will be here. Adira can be here. Hans will be there. Vesper will be here. Abelard, you get to be here, and Kibellah, you get to be here. So, as usual, Cassia starts by buffing me,
Navigator, not a servitor.
giving me an extra turn,
If I may.
and I give You Serve Me to someone random, and then propagate buffs.
Nothing I can't do.
Medicaid signal,
I don't have time for this.
priority signal. Oh, this is priority signal. That's why it keeps doing.
Suits my purposes.
I'm being dumb. It's advanced tracking that I want.
Nothing I can't do.
There we go. I was like, why does it keep doing that? No, I know why. I'm just being dumb. Alright, Cassia. You have a lot of people you can hit here.
I'm not accustomed to being.
Get at least a couple stuns, please. 2 stuns. We give as many as we can. Armor. We come up here. And we Reckless Rush. We Concentrated Fire.
By faith. Each strike is a prayer.
I then come over here. swap over to this.
As the Emperor
Run and
commands,
gun.
I act. Faith
Revel
without
in
deeds
slaughter.
is worthless. I'll do it.
Rapid fire.
Doubt is for the weak.
And then I swap over to this. And I study superiority.
I am his will made manifest. I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. Eradicated.
And then we come back here for being able to get buffs. Actually, no, not yet. I still have wildfire.
I'll do it.
There we go. Now I come back here.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire
And we
in
will
my
Furious Recital and get 49 momentum. Argenta's perfectly balanced, everyone. You know, she just took out, like, almost an entire column of enemies.
Bring deliverance.
Weather the storm.
High momentum.
Alright, Kibellah. I'm gonna have you come up here. Reckless Abandon. And then I'm just gonna have you jump on the Killer Morph.
Let not the righteous fear. May their blades be sharp. My blade whispers your name.
And it's just gonna die. To Arms Faithful Souls, the tyranny ends today. Oh, I see. And that probably stopped my heroic action. It did. Well, that's a bitch. Hey, Schlupp, thank you for the sub.
A bit shocked, but friend, it's a relief and a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well.
Trust me. As the tenants my blade whispers your name.
Blood Oath,
Honor ordained.
where it hurts.
I shall not.
Then we come over here,
I am your blade.
slap
and
this one.
The other side awaits. As the tenant's death is a blessing. Trust me, my blade whispers your name. The shadows will sing, brings me no pleasure.
So what, all that's left are the ones down here that just showed up? I'm okay with that. Welcome back here to get our buffs.
A dance of blades and shadows. I must not falter.
I will do my duty. It will be done.
Abelard, you don't need the buffs of the others. I will just let you come do your thing.
Follow my lead.
Defensive stance. Sworn enemy.
Indeed. Victory is imminent. Grey hair, go ahead.
Alright, and then we do this. Abelard's just an absolute unit. Adira.
On it.
That's fine. Did it give the buff? Yes. That's all that matters.
I am a navigator, not a servitor. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Oh, we spawned a blue. We spawned a blue horror. Nice. That is amusing.
I'll pass. Nothing I can't do.
But of course. Anything else? Was that you? Or anything else? Be gone.
There we are.
Quiet, Whispers. It's my toy, and I'm gonna control it myself. Not this Scryer's job.
Follow my lead.
No, Enforcer Officer. Faceless guy number 22. Alright. So here we Waking Nightmare.
Be careful not to cross my gaze.
Then we Point of Curiosity over
If I
here.
may,
And then we give a turn to
I paint your
Argenta.
death in colors.
We will run and gun.
In battle.
Revel in slaughter. Concentrated fire.
Is worthless.
Devastating attack.
I'll do it.
Then we switch over to this. And we burst fire after a rapid fire.
That is for the weak.
Oh, I forgot to do this. Oops. Is what it is.
Faith without deeds. Eradicated.
GG's. Nemesite is crouching on the ground, clutching at the bleeding wound under his ribs. His tortured body is still strong, and everything in his posture expresses a will to fight on. The red scarf no longer covers his face, and the vigilante grins at you with bloodied teeth. Weak. I have yet to be impressed. What? But I beat you. Before, like, the first turn was over, essentially. I guess, like, very first character of the second turn. If that makes me weak, what's that make you? The bright, familiar eyes of the flute player from the lower decks glints with boldness. The humble swindler who used to play tricks on fools with the help of his trained rat now nods at you mockingly. I've been waiting for this meeting, Lord Captain. No longer covered by the broken goggles, the hairless skull is bulging with massive growths. However, the mutant nature of your enemy is just as quickly betrayed by an even more unsettling feature, the third arm growing out of his torso. You watch as its fingers deftly empty the drum of a stub revolver and load it with fresh rounds. I know you. You're the fortune peddler from the freight line who entertained the rabble with games and music. Not only them, as you can see, I also sang glorious songs about the cruelty of the officers, the callousness of the Lord Captain, and the bravery and selfless Nemesite. Nobody ever notices the pathetic little flute player who always carries a few ration cards for bribing enforcers, do they? Hiding in the shadows of your rotten kingdom was far too easy. Let's see. Vile mutant, you're an insult to the human form. Nemesite shrugs, all three of his arms moving with deadly grace. Fate has rewarded me with the ability to kill 3 of your mutts at once instead of 2. I'm truly blessed. Prepare to fight. You will be the last Nemesite this ship ever sees. I will make sure of it. Aren't you a little overconfident? Nemesite casts a glance at the stub revolver in his hand, then back at you. You are right in front of me. My gun is loaded. I believe this tune is not quite finished yet. It feels like time has become viscous and is slowing you down. You see the bloody hand of the Nemesite raise the weapon, and your body reacts of its own accord. There's no time to deliberate. You draw your weapon and point the barrel at the Nemesite, but he's already aiming his own at you. A malevolent grin spreads across his face. The 2 black muzzles stare into each other, and the world around you narrows to a thin line. Kibellah emerges nearby like a shadow, blade gleaming menacingly in her hand. She hissed softly, ready to pounce. It is your thread that will break today, no other. Save your message for your false god when you meet him. Servant of death, I am glad to take you both down at once. The second gun is now pointing at Kibellah. I vow that your murderous sect will fall along with the Lord Captain. I'm gonna go Lore Imperium here. No matter what being you call to your side, I have the God Emperor on mine. That means you are doomed. If you knew even a shred of truth about my god, you would already be groveling on the floor, begging for a swift death. Absorbed in his zealous rejoinder, Nemesite is no longer holding you firmly in the sights of his weapon. A tense silence falls for all the words have been spoken. At last, Nemesite says quietly, "It's time. Farewell, Lord Captain." The acerbic smile vanishes from his face. Instead, his demeanor turns cold, collected, calm, with the indifferent grimace of a skull. Time stops for a moment, and then, as if tossed by a blast wave, the events fly forward like murderous shrapnel. Nod to Kibellah, and act in tandem to deceive the enemy. You and Kibellah move as one, and you manage to confuse the Nemesite with a perfectly timed maneuver. He is left hesitant to fire, but you are not. Okay. Kibellah takes a deep breath and wipes the blood off her blade. The living legend's head lies severed at her feet. Look at the corpse. The decapitated body lies motionless on the deck. The cut at the neck stares back at you from the grotesquely distorted ridge of its spine. The power of the folk myth fades into the air, like the smoke billowing from the muzzle of his stub revolver. Kibellah, are you alright? He did not harm me. Kibellah looks at the Nemesite's body with an incomprehensible expression, but he tried. Such was his idea, and he remained committed to it until his last breath. His was a good death. Thus ends the struggle of the Nemesite. Kibellah picks up the severed head from the deck and gazes into its extinguished eyes with a strange wistfulness. I know, right? Poor guy. He didn't even get to choose the dialogue choice. At least I got to choose my dialogue choice that accidentally killed my honor run. In fairness, though, I did beat him in combat before the dialogue happened. Hey, how's it going, Wolf Fuzzies? The struggle's not people, the struggle is ideas, and people are merely their vessels, the carriers of the struggle. I need to reflect on his death, Daman. I need to stand before the Undying One and hear his blessed whisper. We can discuss what happened after. What kind of loot do we have? Okay, will it let me loot it? No, no, maybe.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Fine, let's go loot this one first. Needle rifles. Eh. Oh, I can just click them. Okay, that works. Alright, what do we have here? Relics of Unknown Saints. Eh. Honestly, so far, nothing he has looked incredibly interesting.
A new challenge for me?
Fun fight, though. Alright, it is time for ads. You canceled the rest of your appointments this week for mental health break. That's fair and understandable. The ads will play for 3 minutes. They disable pre-rolls and mid-rolls for the next hour. I don't do anything in the meantime, so nobody misses out on any content, and I will catch you all in 3 minutes. The ads are finished.
None shall stand in my way.
Alright, let's see here. Let's go talk with Kibellah.
Take heed, Nemo. Our blessed Domin honors us with a visit. The one who delivered this ark from the curse of your existence.
The malformed skull in Kibellah's hands has been polished to a pale sheen. Its empty eye sockets pose a question that can only be answered in death. Who is Nemo?
An aberration. Your former foe. His eternal foe. My new companion in shadow and my trophy. You once knew him by the name Nemesite, but now his name is Nemo.
He has adopted the skull of the Xeno that we just killed and given it a name. Neat.
Whenever I feel the need to voice my thoughts, I turn to him. He is far wiser in death than when he was alive.
Kibellah, you okay there? What did you wish to discuss?
For years, I have been honing my body and spirit through sacred rituals. I have ushered hundreds of souls to the other side. The hunt for Nemesite was not my first. Yet, after my enemy fell, for the first time ever, I felt empty. And that emptiness only grew heavier under the weight of the question that formed in my mind during that hunt. I prayed. I longed for his guidance to put my mind at rest. But in my self-pity, I showed weakness in the eyes of the Undying One. And so, my only answer was silence. I must therefore ask you this agonizing question, Domin. Tell me, what is the purpose of the blood-spun web?
Does this have anything to do with our earlier conversation about your resemblance to the Nemesite?
Please, just answer me.
You are the scourge of renegades. You deliver his vengeance in the name of the righteous. You serve the Undying Emperor, yet you also serve his faithful. You are givers of his peace.
Then that makes me a driver of the ignorant. One who guides people into following an idea they may never hope to comprehend. All my life, I have walked the road that was prescribed for me. I did as I was told. I searched for the truth in other people's words, then repeated them in my own voice. And I never once questioned my destiny. Until you came along, Nemo.
The way Kibellah drags her metal claws across the skull in her hand seems almost affectionate. It's, huh.
I might just as easily have met Nemesite's fate, and he mine. All it would have taken is a different pattern of threads. The only distinction lies in our ideas. Thank you for this conversation, Domin. It has satiated the void that gnaws at my soul, if only for a time. As for how to seal this chasm for good, that I have yet to find out. May the tenets of the web guide me to the truth. Take heed, Nemo. Our blessed Domin honors us with a visit. The one who delivered this ark from the curse of your existence.
I forgot to do the binding ritual earlier, so let's do that now.
Are you ready to step into the labyrinth, Domin?
What exactly are we going to do?
This is the ritual of binding. By the Undying One's will, our fates are now as one. But I must still guide you into the maze of my mind. Although it is my predestination alone to walk its corridors in search of answers, your image must become part of the tangle. For I am your shadow, Domin, and your presence will aid me in sensing whatever threats may be looming over you.
What is all this on the floor?
Instructions, directions, a depiction of the puzzle that can only be solved within one's own consciousness by following its bends and turnings. I do not require these lines to find my way, but for you, they will serve as a guiding thread.
I am ready, Kibellah. Let us begin.
Your weapon for the ritual. Watch the lines on the floor. You can only pass through the gaps. The rest, you need not know. Enter the labyrinth, Domin.
Alright.
You are now upon the path. Your shadow now walks the labyrinth, and my gaze can now see when danger draws near you.
Can you tell me what this really was? What is the true meaning of this rite?
You are not required to understand. You have joined the ritual. That will suffice.
I only seek to understand you.
Understand me? Why, Domin? My fate is preordained, and our places assigned. We both must serve the Undying One, as his design foretells. But if such is indeed your wish, my path of service to the Undying Emperor is one of many twists and pitfalls. Every mind is fraught with weakness, and only by honing it tirelessly can one achieve focus and prime one's perception. I envision the tenets of the web as a maze of tangles and dead ends. Each time I go into a trance, be it one of the soul or of battle, I walk this path from beginning to end. And now that you're a part of it, you will be there with me when next I enter the labyrinth. You may deem it strange. You live in a world so far removed from my own that such rituals must seem absurd to you. I am sure I would find your rituals equally mystifying.
My rituals? What do you mean?
You are empowered by the will of the Undying One himself. And yet, when I look at your life, I am surprised. You follow a different thread. One that does not seem as strict to your thoughts and deeds. There is so much luster.
Would you like to see my world, Kibellah? You have allowed me to witness your ritual. It's only fair that I show you one of mine.
To partake in one of your ceremonies? Returning the courtesy. That is how you say it up here, isn't it? I will await your invitation. The labyrinth has accepted you. We have danced amid the crossing lines and minds, and by the dance, we are now bound.
Alright, cool. Alright, let's see. I'd like to introduce Kibellah to some customs practiced among people of my stature, show her what life is like on the upper deck, so to speak. Your lordship is most courteous, but what exactly did you have in mind? The warp translation ritual, why not? I doubt our navigator and master helmsman would be thrilled. The warp does not forgive frivolity. So order and discipline during translation must be absolute. And your lordship should not have any distractions either. Janus adjusts his frock coat and nods enigmatically. I will see what can be arranged. And do not worry for a single moment. I promise to find the most suitable approach. I will contact you the moment I have something to offer. Alright, let's see here. I shall head up to here. The High Factotum's voice rings with pride. Lord Captain, I have done as you commanded. Everything has been prepared for your ritual for Mistress Kibellah. A select few upper deck officers are ready to leave their posts to attend this formal gathering and praise your lordship's name. I doubt Kibellah will enjoy this. I'm confident that Miss Kibellah will appreciate the effort, both yours and mine. What could be more representative of the Lord Captain's inner circle than a formal event in the company of the most eminent members of the crew? Alright. It will be done. I shall signal the servants and notify the invited parties immediately. Let us demonstrate to Mistress Kibellah just how strong our vessel's spirit of camaraderie truly is. And we come back down here. How much XP is needed to the next level? A bit. Officer's deck. Kibellah stands out clearly from the officers in attendance, both her favoring of the full regalia of a member of Bloodspun Web over formal attire, and for the empty space around her. The other attendees are keeping their distance as if an air of mortal danger repels them from your companion. Daenric, whose keen, worried gaze is locked on Kibellah, and whose mouth is stretched into the most courteous of smiles, gives you a hurried bow, your lordship. Zen, you are here. Kibellah sounds neither excited nor solemn. Her tone is indifferent as her fearsome metal claws clutch a slice of fruit from one of the plates. I see you found a delicacy that is to your liking. He smiles. Food like this is impossible to come by in the lower bays. I do not know what this is, but it tastes incredible. Juice is dripping down her fingers and hand. It seems she is the only one here who has not lost her appetite. The officers' faces have turned into pale, alarmed masks, and none of them is in a hurry to enjoy the feast. I don't know why, but I always picture it as like a slice of like a tangerine or something. How do you like the ceremonies on the upper decks? I am attempting to peer through the florid shell to the core, yet it continues to elude me. What is the purpose of this ritual, Damen Zen? Explain it to me. Camaraderie, spending all your days in toil, can be dreary. Dreary is serving one's thread, not the greatest joy there is. You of all people should know this. I'm too conspicuous beside the rest of your servants. A fitting mask. That is what is required for a ritual like this. I came unprepared. It will not happen again. How are you? I feel wrong. Strange people, strange sounds and gestures. Bella lets out a sharp breath. Her gaze becomes vacant, and her hand reaches for the table knife. I'm losing myself in this whirlpool. Grasping the knife, she begins to carve lines right into the expensive wooden tabletop. A nervous murmur runs through the crowd. Their tense gazes are locked on the harmless-looking, barely sharpened metal utensil in the hand of the cultist of the blood-spun web. I see you've already mastered the art of commanding attention. You seem to be quite in your element. She blinks in surprise and looks up at you. He glances back and forth, seemingly privy to the meaning of your words. And then, her clear, genuine laughter fills the room, startling everyone around her. I suppose that's true. I will not fluster your subjects further. Kibellah glances at the maze she has inscribed and sighs. Whenever I lose my thread, whenever I'm forced astray by the outside world, I return to the labyrinth. It has all the answers. My meditation helps. In finding my way out, I regain myself and praise the righteousness of serving the Undying One. Gesture at her regalia. Choice of attire is not customary for such gatherings. My appearance tell those around me who I am. Everyone here is wearing a mask for their respective thread. Is this not a requirement for your rituals? She glances at the opulent room, the dazzling decor. I sense that this gathering was a terrible mistake. Why? You've looked behind the curtain at my existence, and now I've looked at yours. Kibellah stares at you intently. I do not think that we have heard all the words that should have been spoken here today. Is it because you do not wish to say them in front of witnesses? Take a walk with me. Kibellah avoids your gaze as the two of you walk away from the other guests. She seems calm, but the slight tremble running down her right hand betrays her agitation. Once you are alone, she looks straight at you. I've discerned that what you're doing here. I have discerned what you're doing here, and I know that you're calling it a ritual was a ruse. True rituals are constant, immutable, like the cycles of the cooling machines in the ship's bowels or the shifts of the bay's servants. This was spontaneous, something you prepared just for me. And then you stayed at my side the entire time. Now here you are, granting me yet another request. Why is that? I've come to value your company. So that's how it is. When you asked me if I wanted to look at the rituals of your world, I was not entirely candid with my answer. Yes, to see the Damon's world is a priceless gift, but what I truly wished for was to see it with you. What do you think? Has your blade failed you? That is the first time you've been honest with me about your desires, to see your sincerity. That is the priceless gift here. That is a luxury no spinner can afford. Her voice drops to a soft whisper. I'm not going to go full on into her romance here. Thank you for this evening. I hope it will not be the last. As it pleases you. Alright, and here we hop in here. We have a few quests to do. How long does it take for this to replenish? The Adeptus Administratum. I will leave Kibellah behind for this. Right of calibration. There really isn't much here I want at the moment. Screw it. I'll give her a nimble.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
What do we have here? Auditing and reissuance of Great Tithe Payment documentation. I read this in a previous playthrough. I'm not going to read that one again. That is way too much dialogue to read out when it's just fluff. Ah, Zen, you have returned. I hope the sacred document I entrusted to you last time has now successfully passed through the approval procedure. Here's your paper, complete with the seals. The ocular lenses on the old woman's nose emit a subtle hum as she adjusts the magnification. Yes, oh yes, indeed, it is perfect. The seals are authentic, so we may continue with the certification procedure. Follow me, please. This is your cue, and your ticket number is... The old woman's ocular lens hums as she zooms in on the paper in her hand. 394. When it is your turn to be seen, the ranking prefect will review your documentation again and sign the official certification for Jai Haydari, possess a Mercatum Tabula Officiale. You will have to a bit of a wait, but it will be worth it in the end, yes? If I must queue, then queue I shall. And I bid you good day. May the law and the Emperor keep you.
Follow my lead.
Regiments of the Astra Militarum sent to the frozen world of Xenagar II required supplies of warm clothing, footwear, and snowshoes for a successful combat maneuver with a further offensive against the enemies of humanity and the Emperor. Due to a gross error by a low-ranking adept of the Adeptus Administratum, instead of the aforementioned supplies, soldiers received 800 cryobanks, resulting in the death by freezing of the majority of troops before the commencement of the mission of retribution. For the purposes of improving efficiency, the adept responsible was subjugated to servitude in perpetuis, as a result of which he is now discharging his duties flawlessly.
My warp site reveals something.
Victory awaits!
Impose an order for the servitorization of 90% of the population of of asteroid mining station VMK-498 for the purposes of increasing productivity. Prepare a set of documents for the reclassification of the world Viabos 6 as a penal colony on the orders of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valentius. Task the newly appointed adepts of the Administratum with conducting a review of all unresolved petitions in the last 5,999 cycles. Make a big mug of recaf.
A new challenge for me.
Alright, what am I supposed to do here? How do I join the queue or whatever? The Administratum Clerk refuses to accept the document without the last seal certifying the document, and 2 previous seals. Guess I'm just gonna have to talk with everyone here until I find who I'm supposed to talk to.
None shall
take my
stand
place in the
my
queue.
word.
There we are. The queue hums with thousands of voices. Someone has rolled out bedding and is settling down to sleep. Someone is playing some bizarre musical instrument. Many are praying. Several highborn petitioners are debating who is here on the most important business. You have to admit, the magnificent administrative machinery of the Imperium isn't without its rough edges. Jai smiles sheepishly, eyeing the queue. But what a thrilling adventure this is turning out to be, Shireen. I've never seen anything like it before, and sometimes it's good to take a break from constant traveling and to give all the hot-blooded newcomers a chance to cover themselves in glory without us in the way. Count the people in the queue. The people are constantly moving, coming and going, changing places, or simply disappearing from view. On your first attempt, you count 238 petitioners. On your second attempt, you count 244. On your third attempt, and the next batch of unlucky souls is ushered into the hall, and you lose count. Scratch the back of my neck. You have whiled away 30 seconds of your wait. You wonder how long you have left to go. I yawn. The minutes drag by intolerably slowly. Somewhere in the queue, a child is howling at the top of its lungs. The palace adepts are sedately moving documents from one pile to another, shuffling papers. Several petitioners have gathered in a huddle and are swapping rumors while someone has laid down for a nap on a nearby bench. Wait patiently. 8 hours have passed by. In the last 8 hours, the only thing that has changed in the waiting hall is the warden shift. The petitioners in the queue placidly await the blessed hour when their appeal will be heard by the high-ranking servants of the Imperium. The entire queue perks up at a sudden announcement, number 285. Proceed to the available window. Don't take me? What torturous trial have we let ourselves in for? Jai almost wails in despair. So much precious time lost, and we've only moved 3 places ahead. At this rate, we'll be old and gray before we get out of this queue, Shireen. Do not forget, you are the reason we are here. And that was the will of the Exalted One, Shireen. And the Exalted One has granted me insight as to how, with a simple wave of your hand and a few wise words, we can ease our arduous wait. The simplest way is to make these lowly subjects bow down before the blinding radiance of our title, Shireen. The second option requires a little more patience. I've already found our first pick, the compassionate citizen who was standing 50 paces ahead of us in the queue. Simply offer the right words to unlock his heart, and he will gladly swap tickets with you. And also, you have the power to solve the problems of some petitioners, removing their need to visit the coveted window. After all, is there anything an ordinary citizen could want that is beyond the power of the Conqueror of the Stars to grant? We shall solve the problems of the common people. Wise decision, Shireen. Old traders always say, if you can solve a problem with hard cash, then that's just the cost of doing business. Jai gives you a conspiratorial wink and backs away slightly. O Exalted One, could today be my lucky day? No longer will I have to stand in this hall, waiting day and night for my turn to come. For this kind lord of House von Valencius is a benefactor of the downtrodden, and he has solved my problem. Esteemed lord, take pity on this poor youth as well. I will give you everything I have, I swear before the Emperor. Only help me solve my problem. You do not need everything, poor wretch, only your place in queue. Listen to the young man. The young man in worn work overalls comports himself with unusual grace for a commoner. My lord, I've been in this queue for 24 moons already, trying to get a permission slip to wed my fiancée, Zazie. Unfortunately, the servants of the Administratum refused to grant it without the signature of a highborn sponsor. Out of my way, elbowing aside onlookers left and right, a richly dressed lady with a beautiful mark augment above her lip charges toward you. Esteemed lord, my 8th offspring has lost his mind. He has decided to renounce his family, his noble title, and his talent as a healer, all for the sake of some tattered waif on from the middle levels. A union with a commoner will put an end to his studies at the university, but should Dargonis and the Officio Medicae be deprived of a capable chirurgeon because of a passing fancy? Zazie is a healer too, and she helps the people of the Hive a great deal more than any lily-white chirurgeon with a diploma. I do not want to live a life of idleness in the spires of Dargonis like you. Not when I know there are thousands of unfortunate people in the lower levels who need my help. In the name of House Von Valencius, I hereby make your fiancée a lady of the court, and release her from any obligations thereto. The young man spends several seconds opening and closing his mouth in shock. That means our marriage will finally be certified, and Zazie will be able to become a chirurgeon now too? I don't know how to thank you. Here, please take my place. I will return later, this time with my fiancée. You have an interesting way of doing business, Shireen. I'll keep that in mind. Jai's shrewd eyes are alight with interest as she watches the young petitioner leave. Old man, after allowing you a brief pause, a hunched ragamuffin approaches you. The old man's toothless mouth breathes out a putrefying cloud of air as he speaks only 3 words. Death for life. Jai peers over the man's shoulder to read his crumpled form. You are here to request mortification so that your organs go to your granddaughter as an inheritance. You will hardly want your worn-out body parts, old-timer. The ragged man shakes his head and covers his face with his wrinkled hands. Servitor disposal. Only now do you notice the tattoo on his right hand, the symbol of the Adeptus Administratum in several interlocking chains. It seems this old fellow is the property of a prefect of this palace. Jai looks at the man's form again and rears back in horror. The granddaughter of this poor wretch has turned into a servitor 16 Dargonis years ago, and after a recent accident, she was listed for disposal. And now, this old man is volunteering to be spare parts for a soulless tin can. May the Exalted One keep me from such a fate. I will give the order for your granddaughter to be repaired, but if you wish to be with her forever, you will also be subject to servitude in perpetuus. The old man nods in understanding. Yes, I understand. Emperor, watch over you. Interesting, so that's how the ruler of worlds and all the stars in the sky acts when he finds an unfortunate on the edge of his magnificent orbit. Mature woman in finely made but threadbare dress greets you. I heard you were helping those in need. Well, my family, it's devastated. My life's work. Oh, my shop selling rare hats burnt to ashes. I'm living out my last years as a widow, alone, in a cold, deserted manor, without servants, diversions, or delicacies befitting my status. The woman falls silent, her brow raised in expectation of your response. Let's see. I suppose you must remarry then? I shall have my people select the best spouse for you. No, no, no. Why would you? No more husbands or wives? I'm too old for all that. All I want is to enjoy the last years of my life. Darn. And what you want is a life that's meaningless and full of despair. Perhaps it is time you turn to Faith, sister. And if she didn't want to marry, then she can become, you know, an initiate. The woman's eyes go round in surprise. Why, I think you're right. What do I want with a tumble-down manor house full of rats and a depressing view from the window? My whole life I've dreamt of interplanetary travel. A pilgrimage, that's it. I'll sell the house and what's left of the shop, and I'll buy a one-way ticket. And Emperor willing, I will die happy before my savings run out. Well, that was amusing. I paid off the last few onlookers who were willing to give up their place. It's a pity they aren't all so amenable. Jai inspects the tickets she now holds and nods with satisfaction. We've moved forward considerably in the queue, Shireen, but you aren't ready to stop there, are you? Sister Argenta, for instance? He could engage the people in a prayer or tell a story about some saint or other in exchange for their queue tickets. You could also ask Adira to use her talent. On second thought, no. That could be more disastrous than suddenly erupting volcano, Shireen. Forget it. I shall wait patiently. Another 8 planetary hours go by. The queue is hardly moved. The adept in the next window was dealing with rebelling machine spirits in his cogitator, so the petitioners from that queue were diverted to the middle of yours. Green, you're a saint. Have I told you that before? You must be, because I don't see any other reason why you would show such fervent but senseless patience. Can't we hurry things along? I wait patiently again. The next 8 hours pass peacefully. Nothing unusual happens. All the certification officers are at their windows and are accepting petitioners, and you've even started growing accustomed to the sounds and smells of this place. Well, Shireen, maybe this time you will lose patience with being patient and decide to move things a teensy bit faster. I'm just gonna see what happens here if I keep doing this. Nope. Alright. Run out of new dialogue there. We need to move forward faster. Use your tricks. I'd prefer to call it my wisdom, learned through many years' experience. But I don't care about the precise wording. Just now, how do you wish to proceed? Sister Argenta, I believe these people have been gripped by despondency. A sermon from one of his daughters could restore them to their determination. You were thinking about it as well. Argenta's gaze is as clear as the midday sky. Words of faith can heal any wound, even those that bleed naught but doubt. I will help these people. Come closer, brothers and sisters, for I am about to tell you about the true faith and humility in the face of adversity. One day, they appealed to Saint Justina. As they say on Ifrit, there is no star more coveted than that which points to the Exalted One. Jai casts a sidelong glance at the Sister of Battle as the latter holds out several numbered tickets to you. These were given to me in thanks by the poor souls who decided to abandon their vigil in this palace of the law and return to their worldly matters. The hum of activity returns to the queue. Petitioners exchange glances. Clutching their paperwork, after a few seconds, you realize that the number being called out by the servo skull for the 3rd time is the one on your ticket. Well, that went faster than I expected. We had a little bit of a wait, of course, but at times it was actually fun. One last seal, one more certification. You'll be looking at an official trade representative, Jai Haydari. What are you waiting for, Shireen? Let's go. We have another couple of hours with the certification officer to get through. The certification officer leans over the document, his smoothly shaven head gleaming. His augmented ocular eyes whir as the lenses zoom in and out. With quiet scratching sound, the Cogitech quills that serve in place of the officer's fingers make notes on a fine sheet of paper. The document is hereby certified, says the rasping voice through the metal jaw and with its integrated vox. Return to the Master of Seals in order to proceed, and may his light and wisdom guard you. Next. Here are all the seals placed by a certification officer. Wonderful. The Emperor blessed you with patience greater than that apportioned to ordinary mortals. Allow me to verify the authenticity of your documents for the final time. The old woman holds the documents close so that they are almost touching her nose, her mechanical ocular lenses clicking incessantly. Yes, yes. Confirmed. Everything is in order. And this one? The seal is smudged slightly. Jai's smile evaporates, revealing her true emotions. Void scorpions scratch out my eyes. Now what? Adira stares at Jai in surprise and lets out a whistle. Well, that came out of nowhere. I suppose I can overlook it, given that the rest of has been certified correctly and promptly. Congratulations, Jai Haydari. You are now the holder of a Mercatum Tabula Officiale. Do not forget to repeat the certification process every 100 Terran years. Uphold the law of the Imperium proudly and honorably in the worlds of the Cronus Expanse. And one more thing. Loss of the certificate is a grievous transgression, Mistress Haydari. Lose the original document, and you will be unable to regain your status as an official trade representative. Not even with the Rogue Trader's endorsement. Yes, yes, esteemed Damar. Give me the certificate already. Come on. Jai's eyes dart over the Mercatum Tabula Officiale and shine with delight. Praise the Exalted One, who saw me through all these trials, Shireen. This is something to tell the grandchildren about? How a humble mortal became a trade representative of the Imperium. Let's not bother the Damar any longer. Why don't we discuss our next steps in the ship?
It's about time.
Alright, I am unable to do an evening stream tonight, but I do still want to do some stuff for Discord Wars. So I will be switching over here to Grand Blue and attempting to grind further in that. And then after that, I will see if I have anything more I can do in StarCraft. And that will be the rest of the stream, I do believe.